Kia ora, good evening. Invercargill police are still seeking assistance from the public to locate missing 11-year-old Mike Zhao Beckenridge. Mike's been missing since Friday, March 13 and is believed to be in the custody of his estranged stepfather, John Beckenridge, also known as John Robert Lund, Nut Goran Roland Lund or John Bradford. It's thought that Mike left his school in Invercargill around lunchtime on Friday and was not there around 3 p.m. when his mother went to collect him. Mike is of a solid build and of Asian descent. John Beckenridge is 1.7 metres in height, of medium build and of Swedish descent. Police say both Mike and his stepfather could be anywhere in the country and are thought to be travelling in a dark blue Volkswagen with registration DUY 263. If anyone sees the pair, they should contact police immediately on 111. Overseas competition is being blamed for a significant fall in dairy product prices overnight.
Dairy product prices dropped 8.8% at the latest global dairy trade auction due to buyers no longer sensing a constrained supply of milk powder. Ahead of the auction, Fonterra increased the volume of whole milk powder to be sold on the GDT. The extra product available meant buyers no longer sensed the shortage of milk powder would occur this season. The Agri HQ seasonal farm gate milk price for the 2014-15 season dropped by 16 cents per kilogram of milk solids to $4.60 following the auction. Buttermilk powder dropped 11.6%, whole milk powder fell 9.6%, butter fell 9.4% and cheese fell 7.4%. The New Zealand dollar fell after the auction, trading at 0.8% lower at 73.13 US cents.
The country's seasonally adjusted account balance was a deficit of $2.6 billion in the December 2014 quarter. This follows a $2.4 billion deficit in the September 2014 quarter, with Statistics New Zealand saying the larger deficit is due to overseas companies earning more from their investments in New Zealand. This activity resulted in an increased income deficit, which was partly offset by increased spending by overseas visitors to New Zealand during the quarter. The annual current account deficit was $7.8 billion for the year ended December 2014. This compares with the deficit of $6.1 billion for the year ended September. Statistics New Zealand said the increase in the annual deficit was due to a fall in the goods surplus. The raised awareness of how frightening and unacceptable dog attacks are has prompted Southland District Council to recommend all dogs be kept on leads district-wide unless they're working dogs. Southland District has 6,000 dog owners and 13,000 dogs, and a recent survey explored ways to encourage responsible ownership. The survey floated proposed measures including discounts for responsible dog owners, as well as tighter restrictions for irresponsible owners and wandering dogs. The draft dog control policy was put before Council today.
Well, there's 5 key proposed changes. The first is updating the district-wide dog access rules. So the main change there is we're going to go from off-lead permitted to on-lead required on roads and road sides. So even though urban zones, they're on lead in their entirety within an urban zone, this means that in the whole district, all the roads and road sides will be leash required. Second key change is with regard to introduction of discounts into the registration fees. So you get a discount for neutering your dog, a discount for fenced containment of your dog, and discount for a clean record. So if you qualify for all 3 discounts, you'll come down to that base fee. So it's proposed that for more than 2 dogs, you'll require a licence. It's not saying that you can't have more than 2 dogs, it's saying that if you do wish to have more than 2 dogs, you will require a licence to do so. Your property has to be suitable, the welfare has to be suitable, can't cause a nuisance, that kind of thing. It's clear from our travels around the district there are some properties with too many dogs, and this is going to give dog control officers a tool to manage those properties. Only the multiple dog licence that's going to require a visit from a dog control officer. It's proposed that all dogs classified as menacing will be required to be neutered. And there's 3 ways in which your dog can be classified menacing. First is if it's on the grounds of reported behaviour following an aggression incident. Second is if it's a breed or type in Schedule 4 of the Dog Control Act, and at the moment there's 37 known Schedule 4 dogs, being 33 American Pit Bulls and 4 Dogo Argentinos. And the third way a dog can be classified menacing is if council believes it poses a threat on the grounds of the characteristics of the breed or type. And where we'd use that is if we enter a property with very aggressive dogs that may be being crossbred with a Schedule 4 dog, Council could classify them menacing, require them to be neutered, and therefore cut off that supply of potentially dangerous dogs that could cause problems in the future.
Who would carry the cost for that?
Dog owner will carry the cost of neutering their dogs. The last key change is with regard to neutering of wandering dogs. And it's proposed that the Council will have the discretionary power to require a repeat wandering dog to be neutered. It's not saying that we're going to require wandering dogs to be neutered, but it's an option for dog control officers in addition to other options we have.
If people were to comply with all of these things, what kind of money can they potentially save with the new proposed registration licences?
Well, we've given the sample registration fee structure in the statement of proposal, which is going to be publicly available this Saturday for public submissions. The standard fee will start at $90 in that example, and you'll have 3 discounts for neutering, confinement and good behaviour, and that'll bring you down to 30 if you comply, if you meet all those criteria. We're now going to the formal public consultation phase of the review process. So from Saturday, that's open for submissions. So you can go to Council's website, southlandnz.gov.t, or go into one of our area offices and do it there. And the submissions period will close on the 30th of April. And we're also proposing to go to a number of community boards and speak there, so the public will have an opportunity to come along to those if they want to have a say.
Stay with us. Coming up after the break, the Southland District Council's long-term plan and a new business survey for the region. Welcome back. The Southland District Council's consultation document on its 10-year plan will be reaching Southland mailboxes sometime in the next 2 weeks. The consultation document highlights issues affecting the region, and the SDC are keen to have feedback from residents. The document will highlight key issues including road maintenance, customer expectation and funding depreciation. Also highlighted will be projects in progress including the Around the Mountain Cycle Trail and the Te Anau Wastewater Project. The document is set to be printed and sent out to all residents to have their say by making a submission from either the attached document or the Council's new website, abettersouthland.co.nz. Comments made on the SDC Facebook page will also be compiled into a report to Council. A formal hearing will be held on May 19th and 20th. Southern District Health Board has released its new Strategic Health Services Plan.
The 10-year plan outlines in detail the vision for the Health District, guiding the planning, funding and provision of public health services for the Southern District. WellSouth's chief executive says the plan encourages new approaches to keeping people well and out of hospital. It also recognises geographic and cultural challenges. The first strategic priority for the district is to build a system of care where health services are integrated to ensure patients experience a smooth journey. Other priorities include securing sustainable access to specialist services, planning facility and workforce development to best support modern models of care, and financial responsibility.
For the second year, Venture Southland are surveying the business community to see how business feels about the business environment generally. Many questions will be the same to enable to compare and contrast on last year's responses, but participants will also be asked where business is at, how confident people are feeling about the future, and what's top of mind for next year.
Last time businesses were quietly confident, they were pretty positive, and that's definitely played out. I mean, last week we saw that Southland's had the biggest GDP rise right across the nation. So part of what we're doing is comparing, contrasting to last year. We're seeing what's top of mind for businesses, what they feel their key challenges are, but we're also using the survey as an opportunity to dig a little bit deeper into key areas that we know are really important. So things around the workforce. Last time businesses were telling us that it's getting harder again to attract the right people, find the right skills, so we'll be looking deeper in some of the questions at that. Also energy use. And how businesses can be more efficient and what kind of energy they're using to run their businesses. So yeah.
Also, health and safety is going to be a big issue going forward. Is that something you're also trying to scope out?
It is. Health and safety is definitely coming up a lot. A lot of businesses are doing training in this area. So the survey asks about key challenges. One of the things that people can respond to is whether compliance issues are causing them headache. So we're definitely looking at the broad range of strategic and immediate challenges for businesses.
Other work that you've been doing at Venture South, and you're trying to link this together further?
Yeah, well, we try and make sure that all our projects are in line with what the business community as well as other areas of the community are telling us are important. So we're doing a big project with ECA at the moment around the use of wood energy. So Southland has a lot of wood waste available, and we're looking at how we can get a more sustainable options for businesses to use with their heating systems. So that's one thing that we're looking at. The workforce strategy is just being updated at the moment, and that will be complete and published in the next month or so. And that's looking at how can businesses and how can we as a region make sure we're making the most of all the people's talents that live here. So whether those are young people, we have a higher youth unemployment rate, or whether it's how can you change and adapt your business to make sure that older people can stay with you and work in your business for longer.
Rationalisation and consolidation could save potentially billions of dollars, a new study into New Zealand's red meat sector shows. The report, commissioned by farmer-led group Meat Industry Excellence, provides independent industry analysis to help farmers and industry players make progress to reform the structure of the sector. It shows gains of more than $400 million over 5 years if Alliance Group and Silver Fern Farms were to merge. Further consolidation that includes other large companies could see billions of dollars gained. Chain licensing, contracted supply and initiatives to deal with seasonal or peak processing events are some of the recommendations to support rationalisation of New Zealand's red meat industry. Prisoner education programs are set to increase by 90% this year in a bid to reduce the risk of reoffending.
1,700 learner places will be available to prisoners this year, which is an increase of 800. The increase is a move by the Department of Corrections to reduce the risk of reoffending and help prisoners reintegrate into society. A number of new qualifications will be available to prisoners, and NCEA studies will increase to progress prisoners into higher levels of education. The Department of Correction aims to achieve a 25% reduction in reoffending by 2017.
Not as warm as it has been, but now let's take a look at the weather.
Your forecast on Q is brought to you by Environment Southland. Environment Southland wants to know what you think about our recreational water areas. Where do you go? What do you do? And your thoughts about the water quality. You could win one of 5 $100 vouchers simply by completing their survey. The survey will help them find out whether the water is being tested in the right places and how the service can be improved. Complete the survey online by going to Environment Southland's website, or pick up a hard copy from Environment Southland, the Southland District Council, Gore District Council, Invercargill City Council or Public Health South.
And here's our Met Service weather for Wednesday the 18th of March. Nobody managed to crack a 20 today around the region. At 3 o'clock temperatures 19 for Auckland, 15 for Wellington and Christchurch, 12s for Dunedin, Gore, Invercargill and Stewart Island, Queenstown sneaking one up on 13. Tomorrow there'll be morning cloud. It should become fine. Easterlies about the coast from afternoon, otherwise light winds. A high of 14 for Winton and Wyndham tomorrow. Invercargill can expect a high of 15 as can Tuatapere. Gore chasing a high of 14 and an overnight low of 3 tonight. Te Anau looking for 17 tomorrow and Queenstown looking for the high of 18 degrees. To the marine forecast for Fovo, southeast 15 knots becoming northeast 20 knots, northeast swell 3 metres to southerly 3 metres. South sea should be rough for easing and fair visibility in showers. Pusiga southwest 15 knots to easterly 25 knots and a southwest swell of 3 metres, rough sea in the south. On the long range forecast, looking ahead to Friday, fine with high cloud increasing. Northerlies strong in exposed places, rain developing on Saturday in the morning, then easing to showers with a southerly change later. Showers clearing on Sunday with southerlies dying out. And that's it from us this Wednesday. Sport is up next, but from the news team, it's good night.